102 is the weight that will now be called. And it looks like Hong Wanting of Chinese Taipei is the lifter. Her best is 126, but she did that back in 2013.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Let's see what happens with this.
That's interesting. Okay. Her arms were slow to lock out, but locked out nonetheless.
And held it there.
And held it, yes.
Nice straight clean.
Yep. Well, her coach is Coach Lin, who I got a chance to meet at the World University Games, and good coach. And he's the coach of the 58 who won here.
Quo.
Quo.
All right, so now we're back to Bourdignon. Second attempt, 122 kilos. Oof.
So she keeps the bar close. That's great. Good lift.
Good lift, and just in watching that, you notice that deep inhalation in before she took her, before she started the jerk. You a fan of that?
Yeah, so I mean, I watch in the gym with our athletes. We teach that breath.
Great clean, and then watch her right here. She's
Can't really see it, but what that breath does, it expands the lungs and it takes up all the empty space in that chest cavity and it forms a pneumatic brace against the spine, and it keeps everything really solid.
All right, so now here is Mendoza, first attempt, 123 kilos. She was the silver medalist in the snatch.
And out early. Oh, all right. Wasn't expecting that, but that's great. So one of the few Colombian lifters that actually don't move their hands
They don't
out.
have it. There are a couple, but yeah, she's one of them.
I'd imagine
in the arms.
I'd imagine she's going to have some problems standing up with weights as the competition goes on.
Well, yeah, I will say I think she's the only one I've seen power jerk.
Well, I think if she gets into the bottom of that, she's not coming up. If she squat jerks, she's not coming up.
No, hopefully she doesn't. I'm saying that was a straight up power jerk. So. All right, so Georgia Bourdignon now on a third attempt, 123 kilos. She's not in that ready area, so she's not going to take this.
And this is great to see right here.
Sari Samir is there.
Good.
Sitting there, it looks like her warm-up series is done. I don't think she's quite yet on deck. There are a few lifters in the way, but a couple of those weights in front of her are automatic increases.
And Sarah, in the World Championship, they give medals for snatch, clean and jerk, and total, unlike the Olympics where there's just one medal. So Sarah is in contention for a clean and jerk medal.
Quite frankly, every single person with a lift remaining is.
It's true.
And you know, but your point's not lost, and that's 100% true. And, you know, there's always something positive to take home.
Absolutely. And now there's no pressure. There's no game to be played. It's just out clean and jerking the next two people to win this, at least in the clean and jerk. So sometimes great things can happen if you palm out in the snatch.
All right, so now here's Ana Torres. This is her first attempt, 125 kilos. She made 99 on her second attempt snatch.
Nice lift.
No doubt about that.
Good lift. Torres, 125 kilos. Staying with 125. Romello Begai, Albania, first attempt. To be followed by Sarah Samir, Egypt, at the same weight.
It's a nice movement.
Very
Good
nice
start.
lift.
And now it looks like
Nah, there's no way she's coming out for this. Oh, she is coming out for this.
it looks like this is going to be anyone's game. To see two of your snatch medalists out in the clean and jerk this early means that Maddie Rogers is sitting in a good position. So is Lady Solis. Good lift. Big Eye.
Kind of just overpowers the
Yeah,
bar.
she does. She did. Big Eye opened with 121 at the Europeans earlier this year, and here she is with 125 on her opener. Solid, you know, but I think this was a rare display of
Chinese Taipei next at the same weight.
nice job on the bottom there. Rare display of caution from the Albanian team. They have proven themselves to be aggressive and, you know, willing to go after just about anything. And,
Right.
this might be a play to make sure that they secure a total and keep her in this thing.
Well, they want to squander an opportunity. I mean, she put herself in a great position in the snatch. You don't want to make any
Tactical
mistakes,
errors,
any
yeah.
tactical errors in the clean and jerk.
That being going heavier than necessary.
Heavier than necessary, right? You get one in, and then you kind of see how everything plays out, and then you start taking people off one by one.
Yeah, because we should note that right now coming out to the bar is Hong Wan-Tin, and you know she snatched 100 kilos. She's taking 125 here on her second. Right now, there's nobody listed higher than 130. So this is still very much bunched together.
Well, but people are waiting. They're
Waiting to make their changes.
Yeah. Very nice.
So for the second time in 2 attempts, a little walk forward, but never really in doubt.
No, really secure overhead, good overhead, solid overhead position, and that allows you to walk a little bit on the platform.
You know, you don't
without losing it.
Yeah, you don't want to have to do that, but you know, it's interesting that in both attempts she did it the same way without ever really having a problem. And now we do have 126 kilos for Sarah Samir.
She looks better. Her face.
Yeah, composure.
Yeah.
And a signature of Sarah Samir is that very deep wrist layback in the jerk. It was something I noticed the first few times I saw her lift, and she looks better. You know,
you could tell as soon as she walked onto the stage, her demeanor was...
Everything about it is different. So watch right here, and beautiful, you know, just extension and turnover. And when she gets this bar over her head, you see that layback of the wrists there. I mean,
not a fan of that, actually.
But it's just natural. It's just where it goes. That's not done. I think that's just flexibility, right?
I just don't like I prefer the wrist to be a straight instead of bent back.
Just CrossFit.
Huh?
No, sorry.
How many lifters you have at the World Championships, Junior?
You had to do it, didn't
Well, the reason for that is a number of reasons. One of them, which it takes more pressure. It takes pressure off the elbow. If the wrist is all the way back, it puts a lot of pressure on that elbow. So it's one of the reasons is for protection.
All right, so now here is 127 kilos for the second attempt of Patricia Strenius. Very smooth opener with 121. This is a pretty healthy jump here, a 6 kilo jump.
You know, here's somebody opened up early in the snatch, and now is
middle of the pack.
Middle of the pack, yeah. So the saying, on that first attempt, I said he was talking about being out in front a little bit.
This might be.
I kind of saw that in the first attempt. It just was light enough to where it didn't really affect it.
And it's going to be the left arm that I would key in. It might have been both, but it was the left arm that I noticed when she punches it out. Just this little bit of right there.
Absolutely.
After she's descended to the lowest point of that split.
She doesn't. Ideally, we'd like to see the bar over the shoulder, over the hip, and then
straight line
in between both feet.
Okay.
And that time, not the case.
All right. So now here is Mendoza of Colombia.
A little struggle there, which.
She's
not surprised, but this is probably not going to be a struggle. Yeah, I mean, if she stands up with it, it's going overhead.
You were pretty well convinced about that one before she took it. Let's see this again here. Little bit of a bar drop on her there when she was getting on the clean, but just oof. Jerk doesn't really get any easier than that. All right, so now Strenius is called back at 27 for her third and final attempt. And, you got to think she'd be inclined to take this. I mean, it was a 6 kilo jump to get her to this on her second attempt. So.
Yeah. And I don't know I think this is the way she jerks. I don't think she's doing anything different than she normally does, which leads me to believe she might have the same outcome.
All right. Grip even, a little uneven. But
all right,
it does not matter.
Right.
Because Patricia Strenius has just made 127 kilos on her third attempt. And you notice when she finished that clean, right as she got out of the bottom, or excuse me, right as she stood all the way up, her hands pop out.
Yes.
And they were not exactly lined up.
Right.
But it didn't matter. She just put that away.
She wants more.
So that means Strenius will finish the day 3 for 6 with a 221 kilo total, currently good for 6th place. And now we are back to Ana Torres.
And this has got to be near her best, huh?
It is. Her best is 26, so it's a little bit above it. And, the 25 was a nice opener, technically proficient, good. But as she got past that, midway of the clean recovery, I think it was started to be a struggle on the leg. So 3 kilo jump could be pushing things. Squeeze through. Good job.
Very nice.
All right. I think net that looked
better.
It was better, but I mean, it looked about the same in terms of tempo, right?
I thought she moved through the middle of the recovery of the clean better this time than she did with 25.
Yeah, take a look at this. Nice catch.
This will be her second attempt.
A little forward, she kind of leans forward a little bit in the jerk. doesn't seem to affect her any. Generally, you know, you want to advise against that, but it works for her.
All right, so now a 3 kilo jump from the guy of Albania. And over the course of her career, which is a lengthy one, she's primarily been a 58 kilo lifter, spent some time. She was an Olympian at 58 kilos. She's tried north of 120, but we're now 2 bodyweight classes up. So here's 128 kilos. Best is 132.
Smooth, easy, clean. I don't know, that left elbow.
I think it's going to be okay. I'd really hate to see a lift get turned down over something that slight, and it won't.
All right, good
lift.
I'm glad.
Yeah. It looked a little on the ledge, but it was all right. And, you know, now this really puts Romela in good positioning. That was a much better clean than 25. And, you know, you look at that on the replay.
It looked worse than
from the angle we were on. Yeah. So now she has.
She's really happy. I mean, she's sitting there crying.
Well, 235 is the most she's ever done, and historically, her clean and jerk.
A little rough.
It's a lot rough. I'm not going to paint that another way. It's just red lines throughout. So, you know, for her to make 2 attempts and to be in position to potentially win a world championships, you know, she's starting to feel the moment, I think, a little bit. Well, let's see what happens here on the 3rd. There's still a lot of attempts left. She could get clipped.
Whether she wins or not is not going to be in her control. It's out of her control.
She's going to play from the lead.
Yeah.
All right, so now we've got 130 kilos on the bar. Kim Soo-yin, first attempt. And this is 1 kilo less than the most she's ever done. And if she's successful, this will move her into 3rd.
Wow, good fight. That was great.
Toward the end there, she looked a little worried while she was running, but then you could see the moment where she knew she was going to get it stopped.
That was
just watch her facial expressions.
First attempt, United States of America. We're in a jury stop, a technical hold. Please wait.
So you saw there on the punch out when her arms came to a full extension, there was some movement in those elbows, and it looks like the jury saw something they didn't like, and they're talking to the referees. So the jury will deliberate. In order to turn the decision over, all 5 must unanimously, it's a 5-person jury, all must unanimously agree that the referees got it wrong. And they will then communicate that to the technical coordinator, who will communicate it back to the announcer and will give the reason behind the decision.
After discussion and deliberation, the jury
I don't think Maddie's going out with
the attempt. No,
they took it away from her.
So there it is. They have reversed the decision. They, being the jury, have reversed this decision because they unanimously believe that the referees who got it wrong by unanimously passing it. She got 3 white lights. And that's the 2nd or 3rd time we've seen that. It does happen, you know.
Do you think Maddie's coming out? I don't think Maddie's coming out with this 130.
130 kilos is still the weight, but we're going to
No, and what she did was drive Kim Soo-yin, you know, a little deeper into the hole here.
Yes.
So those little movements that you see right there were enough to get this lift turned around, and by saying Maddie Rogers is driving her into a hole, what just happened was a lift she thought was good got turned down. And then Maddie Rogers got introduced at 130 and then moved up, so her 2-minute clock also got burned. And they're 130 kilos, 3rd and final attempt. 8-kilo jump.
That's a big jump.
Coming off of a 5-kilo jump.
Get it. All right. A little too much. I mean, that clean was great.
It was. And we mentioned in the snatch that, you know, she's... Now looks like we're going to keep 130 kilos. And this is going to be the third attempt of Hong Wan Ting. I'm trying to see if she's ever done this before. 26, 27.
27's her best.
Yes.
Oh.
Maybe an elbow touch, maybe not.
All right.
It's close.
That was a tough clean.
A little too much today.
No lift.
So Han Wan Ting will be credited with 125 kilos from her second attempt and finish the day with a 225 kilo total.
Mendoza,
And
Colombia, third and final
now we will
attempt.
bring out
Torres, Mexico, next.
Mendoza. Now the elbows didn't touch there.
So I don't know if she's going to be able to stand up with this, but if she does, I don't think there's any doubt that she's going to make that jerk.
All right, so Mirit Mendoza, 130 kilos. So we'll give her a 236 kilo total and move her into the lead ahead of Big Aj. No. And I don't know if you noticed after her last attempt that she made with 27, when she was walking off the stage, she took her knee wrap off while she was still on the stage.
Oh, I didn't see
like that. And I think it was bothering her a little bit. And in case you're wondering at home,
Now she has 2 knee wraps.
you
on.
are allowed to do that. It might even be her sock. You are allowed to do that now.
Oh, okay.
You can double wrap.
The guys moved up. Floaters, 131 kilos. We're going to call from United States.
Roger's going to stick with the 31.
Okay.
And the game, they're going to play the long game here with this.
Yes.
131 kilos will move her for the moment into second place with a 235 kilo total. It will tie her with the lifter from Albania who has only one attempt left.
That's right. So actually 31 is the better call.
It's one of those, it's an okay either way type spot. So here's Maddie Rogers' first attempt, 131 kilos.
Accelerate. Are there enough? Take the step, take the step. Adjust. Drive and dive. Fight.
And that is a good lift. And one of the trademarks of Maddie Rogers, by the way, that's the most she's ever opened with in a competition. One of the trademarks of Maddie Rogers is the ability to adjust, either in the bottom position, and in this case, when she's recovering. The bar wanted to go a little bit forward on her, but she's just got such good awareness and such ability to control both her body and herself that, you know, it's almost indescribable, the ability to make lifts that she has. I mean, she's just got
that, whatever that it is.
Thank you. So Maddie Rogers is on the board with 131 kilos.
That's going to put some pressure on everybody else.
And I did misspeak earlier. I accidentally said she did 137. I know she's tried it. 134 is her best.
Okay.
So she's opening just 3 kilos below her best ever at the Worlds, with an opportunity to win the whole thing at some point if this shakes out. So we are now back to 131. That is going to remain on the bar. I do see the Mexican coach. Yeah, so Torres is going to move up, it looks like.
131 kilos now for the third and final attempt. from Albania, Romello Begai. To be followed
Big
by
Eye
Lady
is
Solis.
being called to the bar with 131 kilos. And she is currently the leader with 235.
But her destiny is not in her own hands, like we had mentioned before.
But the end point of that destiny will be greatly enhanced by a successful attempt here.
Absolutely.
This is a 3-kilo jump, so this will move her up to 238, and that will be the line in the sand that everybody has to try to cross. It's as simple as that. You have yet to see Lady Solis.
Oh boy.
She really put herself into that. Could have been the angle that she was on.
No limit.
I think it's possible that she sort of hit her hip there when she went down, but we're going to have her attended to. That means that no lift will result in a 235 kilo total for Big Eye, excuse me.
And you know, as far as Lady Solis goes, and Maddie Rogers finished second at the Pan Ams to Lady Solis.
2 years in a row.
Yes, so
And she has yet to be able to really catch Solis, and Solis, at least in the Western Hemisphere, has been, you know, I think the class
yes.
of the.
But now they finished tied in snatch, and so there's an opportunity now for Maddie to get a little redemption, or for Lady to continue the dominance. So
Yeah, and you know, in terms of the medals for the clean and jerk, I think the return of Sarah Samir here,
yes,
she could be in play for a medal in the clean and jerk, and we're hearing a nice round of applause in the background. Big Eye is up. They're helping her off the stage, and I'm sure they'll work on her a bit as the rest of this competition progresses, but that was her 6th attempt, so she's done for the day. Hope the injury is not too serious, and we'll see. Yeah, that angle, that hip position. I mean, she could have dislocated. She could have dislocated her hip with that kind of angle.
you know, to your point about Sarah, you know, as a coach back there, I'm not worried about whatever. I don't care what she clean and jerks, because it doesn't count for the total. So although it's great,
It's going to be fun to watch.
it'll be fun to
Yeah.
watch her. But you know, if I'm a coach of an athlete back there, I'm not even paying attention to what she's doing.
Agreed. And Solis has moved up to 235, which is what she needs to close the gap on Big Eye.
The way she looked in her first attempt, I would imagine she's going to smoke this, but we'll see. Boy, her clean is just phenomenal. Yeah. That's great. That's great. She's really good. Really good.
Yeah, well, at home there's an Olympic bronze medalist, or there's an Olympic
Right.
bronze medal. So you are 100% correct.
Right. I'm not going out on a limb there.
No. I mean, just look at this.
I love her clean, man. It just sounds great.
Yes. And the 180 that she has pulled off here is what a world-class athlete does.
Yes.
You know? Kim Soo-yin, 132.
Well, we guess that the rail is nailed in there pretty
Yeah,
well.
I was just going to say, I was wondering if that's nailed down.
Because I've been at meets before, especially even at national meets, when that thing is just laying there without being nailed in.
But I would prefer that to be the case. Because if the bar hits it and absorbs it, the referee's not going to get killed. But when it hits it and it's locked down like that,
Yeah.
ricochet back depending on how a lifter hits it. Like, so it could be, I think, dangerous.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, a lot of those referees aren't so young. They might not be able to get out of the way.
A lot of people would argue that ain't so bad.
Coming from referee, that's not, you know, you can say what you want.
Yeah, don't kill me. Don't. All right. Here's Ana Torres, 132 kilos. 4-kilo jump off her second attempt, make with 128.
She's been pretty consistent throughout here with her attempts.
Almost.
Yeah. We saw signs of that on that second one. You know, a little bit. Like I said, I think that when it's all said and done, she's going to be a 75. I just think she needs to grow into that body.
She really tried to get that rebound off that hop, though, and then just a little too much today. But you always love to see the effort.
Yep.
All right, so now we are in a do-or-die spot for Kim Soo-Ying.
And she just hasn't looked great in the clean.
The crowd is getting behind her. She needs this to post a total.
Get up. Yes.
You can kind of see it.
She was going out.
Yeah, and you can kind of see it at the bottom of the dip there. Just the way she drove the bar up was a little bit of an angle. And as she missed it, it looks like she, passed out a little bit. That always looks a little bit worse than it is. I'm sure it'll just take a second.
Hopefully that's all it is.
Yeah. So no total there for Kim Soo-Ying of Korea. And 135 looks like is what will be next. And it will be Lady Solis on the platform. And if Solis does make that 135 opener, she will have 239. And that'll move her ahead.
Yes. I mean, Lady Solis is in a position of strength right now. If she makes her lift, she's going to be the world champion.
Well, it's interesting though, because this 135 will give her a 239 kilo total. She and Maddie Rogers both snatched 104. They both have more than one attempt remaining, and Sarah Samir, who has one more attempt, doesn't matter.
Right.
For the purposes of total. Who, by the way, she's going to play a top-down game. She's moved from 132 to 140.
Why not?
And she'll just wait to see what the gold medal clean and jerk will be. And she'll move into a position to take that weight when the time comes. So right now, the game, Sean, is between Maddie Rogers and Lady Solis. If Solis makes 135, Rogers must go 136.
Yes.
More weight, please. 135.
So here's the jerk from Kim.
Lady Solis. This is her first attempt.
Oh no, did she drop? Oh yeah, it looked like she kind of blacked out there.
No, that's more than a blackout.
Yeah, but
it carried off the stage from blackout.
Solis to be followed by
a hammer into
Rogers,
a china shop there, Sean. All right, so now here's Lady Solis. 135 kilos. This will move her into the lead.
Oh,
well, she is in the lead, and with that, she has guaranteed a medal in both the clean and jerk and the total. And if I failed to mention it, Maddie Rogers is now guaranteed a medal in both, or at least in the total. It's done. Maddie Rogers is on the podium twice.
Maddie Rogers.
Okay.
The question is what color will it be? And if she will add a clean and jerk medal to that pile.
What's her best?
34.
Yes. That was my fault. Yeah. I'm at it. I'm at it. Come on, buddy.
So I think it's a new American record.
Accelerate, Maddie. Come on. Be patient.
Hearing Danny Carmago in the background.
She's gone. Right there. Get on! Oh. Okay, one more. One more. Stay.
You heard it, and he's right. One more left. We're staying. There's no reason to play it otherwise.
The third and final attempt of Maddie Rogers, USA. As these would be successful.
Although 36 puts her in second, doesn't it?
In the clean and jerk.
In the total.
It's a great opportunity for us to thank our field of play crew. Thank you very much to our loaders for all your hard, quick work. We appreciate it.
It will move her ahead of Big Eye. But Big Eye has 235. So 135, well, yes, it would put her in second in total because right now she's in third, but Lady Solis, who made that 135, has 239. And if Maddie stays with 35 and hits it, she too will have a 239, which means she'll have a tie, which means she will be second to Solis. But she did get pinned with that clean.
Right.
You know, it's a gamble. It's a choice to play for a silver or to gamble for a gold.
110.
Right? Because if she stays with the 35, what she's doing is conceding the gold. But if she goes up, she's taking, I think, a bigger risk off of what could have been a max attempt.
I think you can make a good argument for both.
Either the choice is to play for silver, and that is what Maddie Rogers is doing right now. And let's be clear, this is a huge lift. This is a huge moment. So here is Maddie Rogers, 135 kilos, third attempt.
Fight! Come on.
All you got, buddy.
Give it to me. Give it to me. Up. Right there, baby.
All right. Well, a medal nonetheless.
2 sessions in a row. A U.S. flag will be raised. Maddie Rogers.
I know.
I mean, we haven't had 2 decades in a row where we've won medals, so I think this is a pretty good day.
Yeah. I'm sure Maddie doesn't want to hear it, but it's still a great outcome. And it is, you know, up near her best ever total. She's got 235 here. A little, perhaps, uncharacteristic in that she tends to make more than 2 attempts, 3 attempts, but, you know, she's going home with medals at the Worlds.
That's the only thing that matters.
And now here is Sarah Samir, 136 kilos. This will move her into the lead in the clean and jerk. This is her 3rd attempt.
She's looked fantastic in the clean and jerk. That's great.
It's just terrific. And the grittiness and the guts And the technique and everything.
You wonder what happened in the snatch.
Yeah.
One athlete
I mean, you just, she was a different lifter.
She was 100%.
Colombia, currently in second place in the clean and jerk.
And just once it goes overhead, it stays there. And, you know, Sarah Samir, despite the bomb out, I think showed something special here. She is tough, and she is going to be around, and she is going to be a factor in this class for a while. And now we are down to our final 2 attempts.
She doesn't have to come. She doesn't have to take any more attempts. But
no, it's over. But we have 2 more. 137 kilos. Lady Solis.
So this is for the sweep of the, well, not the sweep, but I'd imagine she may not come out for the third.
I don't know.
Staying at
we'll
137 kilos. Timekeeper has 2 minutes ready on the clock. Once again,
it is for the gold in the clean and jerk. She is
Colombia, Lady Solis,
the world champion for 2017.
Right. Now, in her federation, I don't know if they give bonuses for each medal or if it's just a total. So if they're giving a bonus for the clean and for medals, then I would imagine she's certainly coming out for this.
And what she's doing is kind of interesting. She's hanging out.
Why not?
Yeah. Well, and you can, but I think we're going to get I think we are going to see a third attempt.
Yes.
For one.
She's conserving her energy.
Yeah.
Which makes perfect sense.
I've never seen somebody stand on the step or sit right there on the steps before the world.
I've actually never seen that before.
Yeah, I know. Just have to think about that. I think it's kind of cool.
When you're the world champion, I guess, you know.
They'll leave you alone. They won't make you go backstage.
No, it's just odd. She has a lot of time. I don't know. Well.
All right, so now Lady Solis, third and final attempt. 137 kilos. This will move her ahead of Sarah Samir for the gold medal in the clean and jerk. Little too much today, but on the back of a 135 kilo opener.
I hope those are tears of joy.
Yeah, I think so. Lady Solis is a world champion.
Just a few minutes away from the medal ceremony for the women's 69 kilo class. Please stay close.
This was an exciting one, Sean.
Yeah, this was great. This is great. These last 2 sessions that we've done, the men's 77 and now the women's 69 have been really why weightlifting is so incredible. This is why people love it.
There's a look at Sarah Samir and, you know, a Jekyll and Hyde performance.
Yeah.
In the snatch, she was unglued. No other way to put it. Just completely unglued. And she bombed in the snatch and just turned in a killer clean and jerk series. She was great. Lady Solis, who will not be on the podium in the snatch, missed a 107 kilo third attempt, entered the clean and jerk competition 4th on the back of an opening clean and jerk, wound up becoming world champion. And it is nice to see Romela Vegai up and smiling off the miss with 131 there on her third attempt. It looked like she was banged up and hurting pretty bad, but she looks like she's okay, and that's nice to see because she's going to be on this platform to take her gold medal in the snatch and her silver overall. And Maddie Rogers becomes the second U.S. lifter today to win 2 bronze medals. Oh, I'm sorry, she's triple bronze. All 3, so congratulations to Maddie Rogers and to our other winners in the 69 kilo class. And thank you all, seriously, for giving us a show. There's no other way to put it.
Yeah, this was fantastic. Well, it's this has been a in America, at least for American weightlifting, you know, I don't know the last time. Wes Barnett won a
Clean and jerk.
clean and jerk and maybe a total medal in, what, 95?
97, it was a clean and jerk. All right, so here are our results. Speaking of the clean and jerk, in the clean and jerk in the women's 69 kilo category, you see a clean sheet in this group on first attempts, which is always awesome to see. And the strategy and the gaming and the battle and the back and forth, I think, was awesome. These are the full results of the whole class. There were a total of 18 lifters in it.